Hi there, Montessori leaders. I'm Camila Campuzano, the Community and School Growth Manager here at Nido Marketing. In this week's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 ways that you can really raise community awareness around your Montessori school. This is a question we've been getting a lot over the summer of how schools, especially schools that are newer or have just moved to a new area, can really let people know that they're there. And really, the answer comes down to a combination of old school, just face to face marketing and digital marketing. So I'll be sharing my 3 favorite tips for just building overall community awareness for your Montessori. If your Montessori school community is really looking for ways to level its way up in the community and become a pillar, something that you can really offer is parenting events and providing a village for all families. Now, after COVID, I think a lot of parents felt isolated. They felt like they really needed to find a community. It really does take a village to raise a child, and your school can offer resources for families that are enrolled and also for families that aren't enrolled. And I'll talk a little bit about what events can really set your school community apart and make it an approachable community resource. So I think parent ed events are really going to be your key here. It's important to plan events throughout the year to educate your current families. You want them to be really in the know-how about how the Montessori philosophy is helping their child. But I think it also helps to just open these events up to the local community, or letting your currently enrolled families invite a friend or someone who they may think would benefit from these classes. Really think about what kind of classes would help them see firsthand the benefits of Montessori education. You can teach everything from a Montessori lens, and hopefully this will open their eyes to a new world, and that is your school community. Come up with ways to make these events accessible. You can offer free childcare. Maybe if you have a home environment classroom or something similar, you can have a teacher there, or you can do a virtual parenting class as well. We've had huge successes with that in our own Thrive community, so that's also an option. You can do something on Zoom. It doesn't have to be in person. And just open that up to the whole local community. You can post about it on local Facebook groups. You can publicize it in maybe your library bulletin board or local coffee shops, and just announce that you're having a free parenting class. There are many parents who are looking for support and guidance during their parenting journey. Here are just a couple of course examples that you can offer. And again, you can do these in person, you can do these virtually. Just make it a resource for your local community. I highly recommend classes on things like planes of development. I think this really helps parents understand how Montessori meets the developmental needs of children. It also helps them understand what their child needs at each stage of life. A huge one that is really becoming popular is positive discipline. This is a word that a lot of parents are familiar with now. They want to learn how to apply this properly in their homes. Tantrums. I mean, what parent doesn't want to learn how to overcome this parenting challenge, especially parents of toddlers and young children? This is a great way for them to dip their toe into the Montessori space if they're not yet a part of your community. Another great topic that we've discussed at the parenting events that we've hosted at Thrive have been the prepared adult. Really walks parents through how they can prepare themselves for every chapter. And as we know, the prepared adult is crucial in the Montessori approach. You can also talk about how parents can set up a Montessori home environment. Parents usually love attending this. It gives them real insight as to how an environment can play such a crucial role in the development of a child. It also gives them things that they can actually advise on how they can change their home to adapt to their child. I'd love to know what other courses you provide at your school. If you want to comment below in the comment section, I urge you to do so. Something else you can do is just host parent socials, or like a mom group or a dad group. I think something like this is really helpful to parents who are just looking for a community. They're looking for a village. They're looking to make friends with children with similar ages. Something that can be great for this is a book club. You can host a parenting book club where parents can discuss various parenting books. There are so many Montessori books that you can recommend. So this is a great one. You can do just simple coffee meets. This is really helpful for parents who just want to grab a quick coffee, meet other parents, talk about, parenting and things like that. And you can do that. You can promote it very easily on your social media or in local bulletin boards or in parenting groups. Potlucks is always fun. This is probably something better to host within your own community just because it requires a parent to like put a little bit more effort, cook a meal. And of course, fairs and festivals. If your school has any sort of fair or festival, you can consider, having parents invite another parent or a friend that has children and they want to participate and be a part of that. So just an idea there. I also recommend setting up parent committees to help you plan for this because oftentimes I hear from schools, we don't have time to do all of this, and that's completely valid. You definitely do not want to overwork yourself. So have parent leaders in your community help you plan and organize these things. I'd love to know what other social events you host in your community. Feel free to drop that in the comment section and maybe give some other schools ideas on this. Number two for raising awareness within your community about your school is just to provide free resources. And this is really easy to do because you can create resources once and you can share them time and time again, and parents will find them helpful. Here are just a list of different resources that you can offer on your website or through social media that are helpful to families. And I think this will really place you as, a leader in your community. Parents will know that they can access these resources through you. Things like a book list that you can include on your website. You can do a developmentally appropriate book list, what to read for what age, how this appeals to their sensitive periods. This would be really interesting, and I think any parent, whether they're enrolled or not, would be interested, and I think this will give them a little bit more insight as to what Montessori is all about. You can also include some parenting videos on your website. This is always helpful, or a podcast. You don't have to create your own podcast. You can just maybe have a list of links that can direct parents to really helpful podcasts. I think this is helpful. You can also just produce a weekly blog. I think having a blog on your website is always a great free resource. Any articles, newsletters that you send out as well. And of course, post engaging posts on social media. This is free to do. Share insights about parenting throughout your social media. You can also offer a parent handbook or some type of guide or ebook. I recommend doing that as well. That's free to download. Maybe you ask for parents' email addresses so you can build your email list. And you're offering these resources for free. I think it really helps all parents in your community. And that's really ultimately the aim of Montessori, is for all parents to have access to it. And finally is just partnering with local communities and businesses within your area. So parent communities, student communities, educator communities, and of course, local businesses. So what does this look like? I think you can always start with your local libraries. I think they're mostly open to nonprofit Montessori schools. I'm not sure. It depends on your area, your library, but I think some of them are more open to allowing nonprofits to post on their bulletin boards, but definitely ask regardless. You can host parent support groups online or for local families. I highly recommend starting a parent support group for your local area on Facebook. You can have one of your staff monitor it, and you can plan events and just socials. I think this is a great way to just provide something free for families in your area, and it can be a great way to draw them to your school community and build trust. You can also offer your classroom space for free for a local mom and parent group. So let's say, after school hours, you have a beautiful environment. You can say, hey, if there's a local mom group that wants to have a space to meet, you can use our classroom. It'll obviously get them through your doors and they see how beautiful your environment is, making them curious. And it can be just a great draw to put your school in a better light in your community. And of course, charity work and fundraising for local causes is another one I highly recommend. If you can partner with a local shelter of some sort, or maybe some type of charity that your students can do. I know this is great for schools that have middle school or adolescent programs that do a lot of this type of work. I also recommend getting involved with other local schools. I know many Montessori schools sometimes set up a little booth at career fairs at bigger high schools in your local area or colleges. I also recommend, if there's any type of community fair, whether it's some type of, a farmer's market or something like that, set up a booth and just talk to parents about Montessori and your parenting resources. You can also, maybe if you have an adolescent program and you're selling a product that they've developed and everything, you can sell that at the local fair. All of these things are a great way to put your school forward and really highlight the work that Montessori does. Again, I'd love to hear your ideas for how you raise awareness about your school and Montessori within your community. So feel free to drop all those in the comment. Finally, I just want to promote Thrive here because Montessori Thrive has so many resources for schools that want to provide some of these free resources on their website. So please feel free, if you're a Montessori Thrive member or if you just want to check it out free for 2 weeks, to explore our collection. You'll be able to find a variety of different parenting courses on there, email nurtures to send parents, article samples. We have so many resources that you can provide families. You don't have to create them yourself from scratch if you don't have the time for it. We also have a free leadership forum, so you can find your own community, ask questions to other school leaders, and find support for yourself. You can always I hope you found these strategies helpful and that you're able to use some to raise awareness about your Montessori school in your local community and just let people know that you're there and you're doing great work to make sure that children have a great start to life. I'd love to hear your ideas and approaches for raising awareness about your Montessori in your local area. You can drop those in the comment section, and you never know, you might help another Montessori school leader who's looking to raise awareness about their school community. I'll be back next week with another Montessori marketing video. Until then, take care.